Hello friends, I'm just waiting for 5 more minutes. Hello friends, how are you? रोज राजा बंद कर दो प्लीज. Hi, how are you? Hi Saurabh, I'm able to see you. Thanks for your message. Please confirm if my voice is visible, is audible, and I am visible also. Friends, this is the first time I'm doing this Zoom meeting with you all, so probably you may experience some troubleshooting what I'm doing as of now, but hope everything will be fine. Somebody can message me if my voice and video is visible and coming perfect. Saurabh, please confirm now if my voice is coming correct. Hello, I'm speaking. So hi, this is now exactly 1 p.m. IST time. So let me start my session. I will let me just wait for a couple of more minutes and then probably I will start. Please let me know if my voice is coming correct. I am just waiting for a couple of more minutes because I got a few messages that people are joining. So let me just give him some more time. Hello, hello. Friends, let me know if you are able to hear my voice. I think there is some lag, but hopefully this should work. Welcome, Prashant. How are you? Hi, Prashant. Please confirm if my voice is coming clear. Hi, Prashant. I'm just waiting for a couple of more
Hi,
minutes. Hi, how are you, Prashant?
Hi, hi.
Yeah, I'm able to hear you.
I'm good, good. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, no problem. I'm just waiting for a couple of more minutes, probably. And meanwhile, I think we can start. I mean, Prashant, if you have any query, you can start doing. And maybe if you can introduce yourself or let me know, like, if there is any challenges you guys, I mean, you are facing while preparing for CISM. We can start, I think.
Hi.
Yeah, yeah,
Shailendra, I'm
yeah,
audible?
yeah, yeah, perfectly audible. Tell
Yeah.
me.
So, myself, Prashant. Uh, uh, okay, I'm Prashant and I'm working for Capgemini. And currently, I'm working in the network security operations. And, I'm aspirant to complete my CISSP earliest possible. I already done with my classes with Isaka Mumbai chapter,
Okay.
and I'm last stage of the preparation and brushing my concept about what I learned so far and what is more important and closer to the exam point of view.
Okay.
So that's what my quick introduction and regarding regarding any question, specific question, I'm still with chapter 1 and chapter 2. I'm concentrating more because that's where more of the confusion is happening between the strategy, governance, and things. So by looking at the question, so I'm making it very strong. So that's currently, and if you can cover some tips and tricks about chapter 1 and chapter 2, I really appreciate that.
All right, thank you so much. Let
I think
me.
that's what
Yeah,
with
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
see, I will tell you some tips also, and how to make sure that you will be, in a confidence while giving the exam. By the way, let me welcome Techno Consultant Academy team. Hi, how are you guys? I think if you can name your identity, then that will be fine. Anyway, so Prashant, see, uh, chapter number one and chapter number two, if I remember correctly, for CISM that contains around 53 pages for chapter number 1, and chapter number 3 is 72 pages. Chapter number 2 is 57 pages. So first of all, you need to make sure, I mean, by the way, have you booked your exam, by the way, Prashant?
I have not booked, but I have planned to book on 31st. Sorry, 31st or 1st of November. That's two dates in my
31st
mind
of,
right now,
okay.
and I already blocked my 1 week leave plan from my office. So it just matter is to book, but I think I'm planning this booking this week, coming week actually.
Sorry, you said 30 of November, December, right?
No, no, no. This month, October,
Okay, current month.
30th October.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, current month.
Okay, okay, okay. Then it's fine.
Hmm.
See, first of all, uh, see, you need to understand the pattern they are following. See, I think 30% is coming from chapter number 3, and 29 is chapter number 2, and 24% is only chapter number 1. Now, the pattern they are following is they are more focusing towards chapter number 3. The reason being that include the execution. Now, if you are
Mhm.
if you are very much clear for chapter number 3, which is actually very lengthy, what I experienced, around 72 pages, and is actually so many repetitions are there. So I would recommend
Yeah, yeah, yes, exactly.
go by chapter number 3, then chapter number 2, and then chapter number 1, and in the last chapter number 4, which is our incident management. Now coming to your current preparation, if you are good in chapter number 2, which is risk management, or understanding the risk, or
Mhm.
see, risk is something which covers whatever you have planned or you have proposed to the business in our chapter number 1, which is governance, and what you are going to execute in chapter number 3 is something which is covering chapter number 2, which is risk. Now the question comes, is not like about what kind of risk we have and how we do. I mean, they will be giving certain situation and ask you about if it's going to mitigate or avoid or transfer or whatever. Questions comes in a way that you will be asked for making a link between multiple chapters, and you need to find out of four options which option is covering the other three. In fact, I experienced there were questions where option number C is correct. I mean, first of all four options are correct in most of the cases, and questions are very easy. Questions is easy, options are confusing and is difficult to select. The reason being, all possible options are looks like correct. Now here you need to understand ki if C is covering B and D, then C should be correct. And now A option is something which is giving some another tangent. They will be giving some other direction. So another thought process. So then you need to think if it's coming from chapter number 1 or chapter number 2 or chapter number 3. What exactly the pain point of that question, or I would say what will be the keyword of that question. So based on that you can think between A and C. So basically in short you will be solving one question two times. First you are selecting the best out of
Mhm.
all four, or if there is any odd man out. See, that is there is a myth that two options are or absolutely straight away you can remove it, and you need to select between the rest of the two. No, that is absolutely myth. All the four options are correct. So you need to find out the linkage and which option is covering the other two, because you need to find out either they mention the best or most likely, or no, you need to select the best. Now, the way of learning or understanding chapter number 1 is understanding your environment. I mean, of course, Capgemini is a big company, so you understand there are three levels. One is board of directors, like the topmost management, who
Mhm.
actually take care of the finance, who know, who are more interested in profit and loss. I mean, if you go and propose the best solution in cybersecurity, they will or may not accept this. If you propose them saying that, hey, this if you go for this solution, this will increase the brand value, this will increase the business, and this will give you more profit. They are interested in those, and those are the person who only and only understand the profit and loss part. They are the person who involved in designing, writing, or circulating, or maybe creation of the policies, right? So they set the goals, they set the objective of the organization or the business. They are least bother about the security solution. They simply ask what you need and how is going to get benefited for the organization, right? So that's the first layer. Second layer will be the steering committee, or Sterco meeting will be having. Those contain the business unit head. For example, one company contains multiple business. One is finance, one is, let's say, marketing, one is some other research part or something. Now, if you are proposing any solution, for that you require to have at least a basic understanding of what as is process in that organization, and those detail can be gathered using multiple techniques. One is, first of all, you can assess by your own, based on your own links, your understanding in the environment, culture, and all. And the best way to find it out is to connect with the business, especially business head, because those are the person who know the pain area of that business. Now, if you propose certain solution to them, or you discuss with them, or maybe if you can ask him, hey, if we do this kind of a thing, or any, let's say, let's say they are saying there are cases where attacks happen during the Diwali or any festive season, and we got a loss of these many crores or something. Then you can say we can implement some intrusion preventive systems that can detect DDoS attack or something, and we can mitigate this. Then they will say, okay, how much is the cost? So like that, first to convince with them, these are the person who approve the solution, right? So Sterco meeting or Sterco heads are, or the business heads are the second layer. Third layer is you. You means information security manager, who never
Mhm.
involve in execution. They only propose. I mean, what I think is like we are like sometimes say Krishna Bhagwan. We never do anything by our own. We just guide him. We just give the best solution, and with different prospect of negativity or any profit or loss something, or if there is any positivity, if we are proposing a go ahead for that solution only. So these are the few things which you have in your thought when considering for the first chapter, which is governance. And you know what,
Mhm.
when I am saying this, you try to link everything in a fractions of second. If I'm using word business case, immediately what are the things we are covering in a typical business case? And I mean, these things comes
Mhm.
immediately in your mind when you say business case. The very
Mhm.
first thing which is very 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 important is you have to know the need. NWD, need is a very important thing. Whatever the best solution you
Mhm.
may propose, you know the scope, you know the existing culture, you know the profit loss, everything, but if it's not at all needed for the organization, it's not going to approve, right? Even
Mhm.
you may get a question like a business has straightforward rejected your proposal, or business are having very tight budget schedule this year, and they are showing some resistance. Then what will be your best then what will be your approach? What will be your best approach, kind of a thing? So in that case, I mean, the very first obvious question is you need to analyze the current risk, existing risk. If we don't go for that, if that is comes under our acceptable level, or at least we can tolerate the risk, then we can go for that mitigation. Otherwise, we can propose the consequences by showing some financial aspect, like you will be having these many of losses if this happen during normal period, or if this is these many figure. But if it's happened a disaster or any kind of attack happened during the festive season or and all, then it's management call, is board of directors call, if they are going to take it or not. You need to keep reporting, you need to keep them informed. That's the only a role you're supposed to play. You never require to execute by your own, you never involve in any procurement. These are the things covered in under chapter number 1. So all the things are linked. So let me just quickly,
Mhm.
I have a book with me, just a second, let me just quickly go through if I'm missing anything. Yeah, they may also ask about certain framework. I mean, they may sorry, not in question, but I saw in some dummy questions they may ask about which one is a good framework. But I'm sure these kind of very basic questions may not ask, but this may give you confidence that you know the actual framework and all about. Yeah, the outcome and
Mhm.
importance of information security governance, these are the very important things. And let me tell you one important things. Let me just read one sentence which I actually marked in my book. Uh, you must understand the policies. What do you mean by policy? What do you mean by standard, procedure, and guideline? Let me tell you one these things very quickly. Uh, Policy is basically a high level organization intent. For example, there is a policy that safety first, human safety first. That is a policy. Policy may include certain things which is very high level, very straightforward, that you need to consider as a requirement for writing the standard. Now standard is something, for example, and in a factory there is standard that wooden what do you say, we should use a wooden I forget the हथौड़ी को क्या बोलते हैं, I forget the name, hammer. We should use a wooden hammer of 10 inches or 20 inches. That is a boundary of the standard, right? So in every factory there is a 20 inches of hammer, wooden hammer, that comes under standard. Now, if there is any change or any requirement change or business requirement, this may increase to let's say wooden to iron, or wooden to, or 20 inch to 25 inches and all. So standard may change, but policy saying safety first. Safety is always high level and is rarely changed, because that's the intent of the organization. That's the intent of the management. So policy rarely change. Standard may change. Now coming to the procedure is saying, to nail you need to pick up the hammer on your right hand side and put the nail on your left hand side, and then you need to first hammer it gently and then maybe forcefully. So these are certain steps that comes under procedure. Now the question comes, if in case where you find the best requirement detail of any, any solution, that you can find it in procedure, because procedure contains the exact requirement how to execute. So procedure is a very step by step process. Procedure should be very clear, simple and easy to understand. Now, fourth one comes as a guideline. Now, guideline is an optional, it's a choice. For example, on the same example, if I'm saying, while nailing, if you have let's say iron gloves on your left hand, then that will be recommended. That's the guideline. You can nail without that gloves also, but if you put gloves or iron gloves on your left hand while nailing, that may give you extra safety. So guideline is optional. You can execute, you can do the things without following the guidelines as well, but it may recommend to follow the guideline. So these are the things you should know. Now you, if you can read the book, you can find out, or you can relate these four things. This is, without knowing this, is going to be, or without having clear cut objective or understanding of these four things, is not recommend to, go for this exam. uh, yeah, I just covered. And board of direct sorry, one more thing you must understand, that sometimes CISO consider as CISO and information security manager more like plays a similar role in some questions. But sometimes CISO, and there is a difference between CISO. CISO is a higher management with some authority, with some power, right, for taking any decision or no. So you, when these things comes, if there is if it's written a role of a CISO, or if a role of a information security manager, you should, I mean, always think ki, like, what exactly a question is asking about. If something where some decision is coming, which is expecting from the security manager or something, then that will be, then your role will be CISO and all. One more important point in chapter number 1 is responsibility. If any disaster happen, if there is any breach happen, or if there is any data loss or anything, any any lawsuit or anything happen, then in that case, board of the lawsuit or any lawyer will caught the neck of a board of director. They are responsible, right? So responsibility is totally on board of directors, whatever any disaster happen. Similarly, who are the accountable and who are supposed to inform, you should understand all these things while covering the first chapter. I think these all are things you can find it on chapter number I mean, sorry, figure number 1.4, relation of information security governance outcome to management responsibilities. My voice is coming correct, right, Prashant?
Yeah, I have gone through your video, especially on this roles and responsibility.
Okay,
It is very much clear explaining the things. But this topic is clear. Roles and responsibility.
perfect.
I'm clear. Um, when I was confusing between the policy and procedure, policy and standards, because I attempted some sample question also, but I still could not able to make it out. Means I understand the conceptual understanding of the policy, but the question in the question bank was so tricky that could not able to get it right. That's the reason I was even I asked in the separate chat with you that
Okay.
you have a plan to prepare some very specific on the policies and procedures, because I think that is the heart of the thing.
Acha, acha. Prashant, just let me just pick up a call. I think somebody is calling me. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, please, yes.
हाँ हाँ अरे यार, अब नहीं, अब मैं अभी तो थोड़ा बिजी हूँ। मैं आपको आधे घंटे में कॉल करूँ क्या? हाँ, तो मैं अभी नहीं नीचे आ सकता, मेरे को थोड़ा सा काम चल रहा है अभी। या आप 1 घंटे बाद आ जाइए ना प्लीज। ठीक, ओके, थैंक यू। सॉरी, एक्चुअली some delivery guy has come. Okay. So, see, policy and standards are very, I mean, it's very simple. If you just look out the policy means, policy is something is uh, which showing the management intent, what management is looking for. If you can give me an example, probably I can help you more. I mean, if you remember any question or something, I can try to explain you, or maybe I can create a separate video on that. See, policy, whenever it comes to policy, that is only an high level statement, simple statement, and a generic statement. Policy never be a very granular level. One policy contains multiple standards: S1, S2, S3, S4, right? And standard are something which have a specific direction. As I said, standard may be saying that you need to, I mean, every factory should have these many accessories must. Every foreman should wear these kind of orange dress or something. These are some standard which every company has to follow. So you can just try to
Okay.
understand the layman language, then try to relate and try to solve the questions. If you try to
Okay.
understand policy and standard using your own IT experience, then probably it's tough for you to relate. But the concept should be clear. If you just try to see the broader level, probably I'm trying to understand most of the things while you know having any construction or any factory example kind of a thing, where I can relate
Okay.
easily. I never try to relate with my IT environment, because one person is doing multiple things. They are sometimes involved in sometimes plays a role of a security, I mean information security manager. Sometimes they are executing, so it may be difficult for you to relate. So I mean,
Okay.
I think one more point here I want to say, ki, like whenever you are doing this, or I mean, you try to do what is mentioned in the CISM manual. Don't try to follow what you are doing as of now in the organization. Always try to think
Mhm.
the framework, the mindset, what CISM book is, CISM review manual 15th edition is referring. Because sometimes it may happen that in your actual practice things are not like that. So you may go for the wrong answer and all. Yeah, I think that's all for information security governance. Yeah, you must also understand the preventive, containment, deterrent, reactive, all these things, and also this Atma.
Yeah, yeah.
Atma, avoid, transfer, mitigate, and accept. Right. So these are the very important point. Atma, you should know when to, and what's the meaning of deterrent control. There is a minor difference between all these things. Deterrence is not preventive; it only warn. Whenever deterrent come, always remember there is a fencing, uh, fencing on, let's say, any jail wall, and dogs are barking like that. So that is deterrent control. They only warn you, hey, don't come. If you, this is a restrictive area, don't come here. Deterrent never stop. Even there are cases people jump from the jail wall also, right? So deterrent never stop, they warn you,
Yeah.
right? I think that's it. Gap analysis, yeah, gap analysis is one of the very important point. People used to say,
Mhm.
okay, what will be your first thing? They will give, they give the some, they give some example, and then say it's happened in certain organization, and what will be your first thing? Then you can say we need to understand the as this process we need to find the gap analysis, and also gap analysis is one of the very important things.
Okay.
I think these are the few things which you consider while reading the first chapter. Now I'm coming to the chapter number two, information risk management.
Mhm. Okay.
If you have any question in this chapter, chapter number one, let me know.
Just a second. There is one top miss. There is one question I seen, a balance scorecard or something, which I haven't found in detail in a practical understanding of that balance scorecard.
Acha, just a second.
Now,
Actually, somebody is chatting on YouTube also. Just a second.
okay, okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So balance scorecard is basically what I mean is, see, balance scorecard only once these things comes, you have to think two things. One is what is your actual ask or actual existing setup or actual solution, and what is business need. How is going to fulfill the business requirement. Business is asking you to give me a solution which help me to increase the profit by, let's say, 10% or 20%. Now you are giving a solution that is costly and giving the profit of, let's say, 8%. So so this is not a balance. So they will say ki, bro, my asset is less costlier than your solution. Why should I go for your solution? So you need to make a balance between your solution and the business requirement. So so whenever these things comes, organization requirement and the solution, balance scorecard is the one who give you a picture that as of now the risk is falls under criticality of level 5. And if and then again there are, risk register which helps you to identify the exact detail of the risk and all. And if you propose or if you put the solution, then how is going to come down to, let's say, level 1 or maybe low or medium, and that to our acceptable limit. You need to create a heat map also while proposing this kind of a solution, so that you can say now the risk is under in red area. But if you propose the solution, then probably it may comes under amber, or maybe down the line after 6 months or 1 year it may go to white area. So there is a heat map also. So these are the few things which you can use while writing the while making the balance scorecard. Balance scorecard questions only comes just like giving certain situation. They won't ask you or they won't give any example or maybe any matrix kind of a thing and identify you to give the balance scorecard number or something. Hello, hello.
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
I was seeing a little lag, so I had stopped my video. That's why.
Okay, okay, no problem.
I'm here listening.
Okay, okay. So, yeah, let me know if I missed anything. Hope you are able
No,
to.
no, you are. No, I'm able to listen. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the only basic. That's the only thing you need to just understand. It's not much. I mean, balance scorecard is they're not going to ask anything deep. See, the only thing, Prashant, is see they they try to analyze how you react, or how you analyze, or how you interlink any question between multiple
Hmm.
domain. If you are able to find that, question will be very easy for you,
Hmm.
believe me. Otherwise,
Okay.
you may think of option B, which is of risk, but he is actually talking about incident management. Incident management is also a risk, right? If it's not happening
Hmm.
perfectly. So you need to identify which
Hmm.
this. I mean, what's the linkage between this question? For this question between multiple domain one, two, and three. You
Okay.
need to find out the
Hmm.
keywords.
Hmm.
What
Hmm.
question is asking? What is the pain area of this question? And believe me, is it won't take much time. The way I'm saying is seems like it's taking long, but actually it won't take. When I was giving exam, I completed in 3 hours, and almost
Hmm. Hmm.
1 hour is extra, out of which almost 25. Maybe it's not the right forum to mention all these things, but I'm just quickly explaining you a few things. Like 25 questions, more than 25 questions I marked as a flagged, and out of that almost 10
Hmm.
questions I changed my options. 10 questions, can you believe? People used to say don't change the option, whatever you think things comes into your mind, very first thing that will be your first answer. No, in my case it's never happened. 10 questions I changed.
Okay.
And there is also
Yeah.
with that's
Okay.
yeah, people say go back and change the what you say, they revise all your questions and all. I did in my case I never did. My intention was, I am see, when I was giving the question in my first go, my intention was I will not come back to see these questions again. That's my intention.
Hmm.
And in worst case, if I'm actually tired, or actually I'm not able to correlate or something, then only I select that as a flag. And by the way, are you thinking for giving the proctor, or going on center?
Center. Center.
Center, then is fine.
I got one reference. Yeah. Yeah. No, I think the other challenges are more maintaining especially internet is the biggest challenge. I think so.
uh,
That's the reason I don't wanted to take a risk.
how long it will take? How far it's from your home to center?
I'm staying in Vasai and I have to reach to Andheri. So
Oh,
it is 2.5,
you told me 2.5 one way, right?
2.5 hours. Yeah, because of no trains working, na. So it will be hectic little.
And what's any time you are thinking? i
I,
mean
I think I consulted with one of colleague who attempted from the that same center. They start at 9 and the exam run till 1. So I think I'm in the same slot. I'm good to book because they have only one slot available, 9 to 1, uh, and all the days are there open.
9 to
So I have
1.
to actually start little early from home. Yeah, 4 hours. So I should be there by 8:30 so that I can start at 9 and close by 1.
Correct. So that means you will be leaving home somewhere around 6, right?
Yeah, somewhere 6.
That means you need to wake up somewhere around 4:30 or 5, right?
Mm, yeah.
Uh, Prashant, this is something you need to think very, very, very deeply, in the sense that your body, your mind is not in that practice to wake up at 4:30, and that too traveling for 2.5 hours. I will show you one thing. Let me
Mm-mm.
share my screen. Uh, Actually, this is very important. I want to show you just a second. Okay, I am sharing my screen. Are you able to see an Excel sheet now?
Yeah. I'm able to see your screen.
See, this is the plan. Maybe since you are already, close to the exam, so I'm not going to share all this strategy and all. But I will share you one thing.
Hmm.
See, if your exam date, let's
Hmm.
say on 22nd of March, 20, I'm just giving an example. Then
Hmm.
21st March will be a no study day, right? So if you are planning to give on 30th October, 31st of October, then you should not read anything. I would say from 29th evening, you should have a sound sleep on 20, I
Hmm.
mean, let's say Thursday night, so that your
Hmm.
mind will, a bit relaxed. And on
Hmm.
Friday, you should not even know where is my book, right? If you even don't know the meaning of RTO and RPO, don't try to Google it. For you should believe everything what you did during your whatever the period of preparation, 60 or 90 days. Now, since
Hmm.
your exam is on is at 9 a.m. and you need to wake up at 6, I would say today is
Hmm.
17. At least from let's say 22nd or 3rd or 23rd, start practicing where maybe for 10 minutes or 15 minutes you just wake up at 7 or 5 or 5:30 or 6. I mean the same schedule what you're going to follow that day.
Hmm.
Maybe later on
Okay.
if you find tired you may go and sleep, but at least your body should know
Hmm.
that you
Hmm.
may wake up early also. So accordingly your mind
Hmm.
will prepare you. Number 1. Number 2, when you
Hmm.
are traveling, you can have certain drinks. I mean you can have any juice or something, water, and don't try to read anything inside the car. I mean if you're going by car to the center, 2.5 hour,
Yeah, yeah.
just
Hmm.
relax. Don't think anything about after effects of the exam. If you pass it out, what happened? Your life will be changed or something. What happened if you not or something? Don't know.
Hmm.
Just think of any funny thing happen in your family or in any place. Just try to divert your mind. It doesn't mean
Okay.
you watch, and please don't watch any web series. I precisely mentioning, especially there is a web series coming on 23rd. Please don't watch. I am saying because the problem of this web series is these web series are giving a mind kind what you say what happened next kind of a feeling, so that makes
Hmm.
your mind a bit more cautious, more alert, which when it's not required, right? So that's why
Okay.
in this time your mind should alert only when it see any question, otherwise it should relax. Don't watch any web series which or anything which makes your mind give attention more. Your attention should be on exam only. See, these are the things which I personally follow. and
Hmm.
and in fact my
Okay.
I mean when I was giving exam, it was like uh, after let's say two days I was seeing very first question. Then my mind says, hey, this is something which I know. After 2 days, I took 2 days of complete
Hmm.
break for my exam. So everything whatever I have learned during my 53 days of studies, I totally believe on that. Yes, those are sufficient. Anyway, so these are the few small tips. Yeah, now coming, hello.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah.
now coming to the yeah, so this is the screen I was sharing. Now let me
Hmm.
um, yeah, let me go back to my earlier screen. Yeah, so my point, okay, so this is all about chapter number 1. Now chapter number 2, if I'm talking about very important point is exposure. Whenever you are solving uh, uh, any question, especially when he's asking about different strategy of any scenario. Always try to see if there is
Hmm.
any possibility of decreasing the exposure of any risk. If that happen, then most of the things will get resolved automatically, because expose if less exposure means less chances of the probability is less. Henceforth, there will be a less chance of attempting any attack, or if there is any open vulnerability to be exploited. So exposure is one of the very key things you need to understand.
Hmm.
And sometimes, yeah, they ask a question on culture. Culture is something which depends upon multiple things. Is primary culture is responsibility of establishing the culture is senior management, and
Hmm.
followed by the, I mean, it's a top down approach. And also this depends upon the
Hmm.
person to person attitude, their behavior, their experience and all. So culture
Hmm.
is culture varies company to companies, and also culture varies country to country also, right? And the biggest
Hmm.
challenge of the culture, I mean, of establishing any standard with respect to risk is you never know the culture of the other company or other country. So that is the biggest challenge.
Okay.
And technology sometimes considered as an important, but in exam I experience technology will be considered the least priority among whatever the option.
Hmm.
So don't focus much on
Hmm.
technology, saying that because technology is something which drastically change during a time period. So if any options come, so who give you preference, and most of the cases technology will be the least priority.
Okay.
I mean, these are all my experience. I mean, what I actually followed.
No, no, I think it's valid.
And
Hmm.
aggregate risk and cascading risk is, I mean,
Hmm.
there should not be any confusion on that, because sometimes they try to confuse you between aggregate risk and cascading. When, I mean, just remember, when there are complexity, when there are see, complexity gives you two questions. One is cascading wala, and another one is for the architecture. What is the benefit of having a information security architecture? Because that helps you to
Hmm.
resolve any complexity in the solution, and this will also give you a clear picture of how the things are integrated between
Yeah.
information security and the existing asset or the business. So those are the benefits of the architecture.
Okay.
What is the difference between a threat and risk, right? Threat coupled
Hmm.
with vulnerability is a risk. If there is a no threat, vulnerability itself is not a risk. If there is a no vulnerability, threat itself is not a risk. Threat coupled with vulnerability is a risk.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's clear.
You must understand the difference between risk, sorry, likelihood and impact, probability, all these things. Risk is okay.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
are there are certain things. Risk is equal to threat into vulnerability into consequences.
Hmm.
Another is threat into
Hmm.
vulnerability, and risk also is equal to likelihood or probability into consequences. So these are the things already mentioned in 104 page. Just have a look.
Hmm. Okay.
Difference between qualitative and quantitative.
Hmm.
There should not be a 0% or a 0.1% of confusion. Just ensure
Yeah, yeah. That's it.
quantitative and
Yeah, yeah.
qualitative. Just mind you, quality comes, sorry, quantity comes with some name as a value. same name as a dollars,
mm,
same as
mm,
money and all, which you can easily calculate, right? Out of 10, two things are done, five
mm,
things are not done, two and the remaining are in progress, like that. This is quantity.
mm.
Disadvantage of quantity is sometimes these are objectives. Sorry, these are subjectives. So you may your value may or may not
Subject.
correct every time. So that's a disadvantage.
Yes.
Cost and benefit, I think these are the things.
Yeah, yeah.
Just a second. Just a second. I think somebody is calling me. Hello.
Mm,
Sorry, from where? Yeah. Yeah. Asset classification. Why we need asset
mm,
classification? What is the advantage? And uh, I forgot one thing. Who is responsible for doing asset classification? There are two terms you should know. One is this guy, asset owner, and another one is the custodian, right?
mm,
Custodian is a jailer who follow the policy
mm,
for making sure whatever
mm,
whatever is there, that should be followed. For example, after 6 nobody is allowed to go outside from certain area or something. That is because it's
mm,
written in the jail manual of 2.5.2 section, whatever the section is there. That is custodian,
mm,
right?
mm.
And
Yeah.
they may propose the certain solution also. They can say, hey, can you put some more fog light in this area, because in night I'm not able to see what's happening in this area. They may propose certain solution also, mind you, right? But
Okay. Mm,
this guy, asset owner, will say these are the risks you can consider as in a sensitive. These are the document, for example, you can broadcast as a public. These are the thing which is
mm,
private to the company. So these
mm.
categorization will be done by the owner. जो ओनर होता है ना उसको.
Data owner. Data
हाँ.
owner.
हाँ, सॉरी.
Mm. No, no, I said data owner
करेक्ट.
has that right to
या एंड व्हाई.
listen.
या व्हाई बिकॉज
Mm,
जिसका सामान रहेगा ही ओनली नो what will be the consequences if something wrong happen with that product. He only know my
mm,
my this product is very costly, and I have to make sure that these kind of mitigation should be there. So that is the responsibility of asset owner. Now what will be the role of this guy, information security manager? The role of information security manager is to make sure whatever things were there or mentioned by the information asset owner or this cascading has to be executed. वो वहां पे होना चाहिए.
mm.
If there is any issue,
Okay.
then he can come into the picture to try to help them to fix it.
Okay.
ये क्वेश्चन बहुत आता है कि लाइक दे मे आस्क यू, ओके, बीइंग अ इंफॉर्मेशन सिक्योरिटी गाय, you know you may go ahead for the giving solution to giving suggestion to this guy, asset owner. You can give, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not your role, because as per you certain asset is not sensitive, but the owner say no is sensitive, so there will be an issue. So your role is not to give the suggestion to while doing the any asset classification. SOD is one of the very favorite question.
Mm,
And BIA, when BIA comes into the mind, RTO, RPO, BC, disaster recovery, everything should come immediately. Incident management. So what is RTO, RPO, and all? Yes, you should. I mean, whenever these things come, immediately other things comes into your mind immediately.
Yeah, yeah.
Matrix, smart. Uh, Smart
Mm.
means what? Smart means let me recall. Specific, measurable. Uh, ac- uh, what to say? SMA account attainable,
It should be accurate,
relevant.
tenable.
Yeah, it's attainable. I mean,
Mm.
sometimes it's another word, but attainable, relevant, and SMART. T means timely, right?
Mm.
So this is a full form of smart,
Yeah.
and always remember when question comes, if
Mm.
everything is fine with that matrix, but if it's not customized as per the department, it's not going to worth it, right? So
Yeah.
if it's not relevant, whatever the best thing or
Mm.
whatever the best data you are providing in any matrix or in chart is not going to work, the is not going to serve the purpose. So always remember this smart thing. I mean, I personally sometimes follow in my daily practice also. Yeah,
Mm.
I think these are the things broadly you can go through for this for
Okay.
chapter number 2.
So there is one thing which I just wanted to, clear,
Huh.
because I'm somewhere, uh, because of this chapter flow or something, which might be I am a little confused. So I have brought it from this all in one, and I just wanted to add some more to this. So there is a business. So business has some vision. Then it comes to a business strategy, and the business strategy comes to be a business objective. And then that business objective will be fulfilled by security, uh, what you can say, security governance. This objective should be fulfilled, uh, and though for those to attain this objective, so I'm there are terms like security governance, security program, what are the terms, security policies. So I just wanted to understand the flow, because I'm little confused with that flow. So up till business objective is set, now what will be the next step from the security point of view? We will go for a security governance, and for governance we will understand the security strategy. Is that,
No,
could you able to
no, no,
help
no,
me with?
no, no,
Hmm.
no, no. Please, please. I mean,
You understand what I'm trying to?
yeah, I absolutely got you. I mean, in fact, whatever you just said, I mean, thank you so much. You have shared this question to me. See, first of all, this flow should be
Hmm.
very, very clear. I will tell you. Let me tell you where is mentioned also.
Hmm.
Just give me a sec. See, the very first thing you entered in any organization, you should understand.
Hmm.
I mean, this is I'm telling based on the CSM book. Okay, key, what is the
Hmm.
existing information security governance there? How the business is linked with the information security governance? If it's there, you need to maintain. If it's not, you need to establish. Now, the objective of any
Okay.
strategy. See, I'm telling you the flow one by one. What you just said. The objective of any strategy
Hmm.
is to make sure whatever the organization goal and objective is successfully mitigated. It should I mean the governance should be in line with the organization objective and goal. So governance, I mean the strategy is one part, and governance is making sure those strategy will be in place, right? And to
Hmm.
execute
So
this
for
strategy,
which is come for?
just a second, just a second. And to
Oh, sorry. Okay.
execute this strategy, the very first line, let me just tell you, in chapter number 3 is the role of uh, 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 information security program is to execute this strategy. See, just open page number 142, is written the purpose of information security program is to execute the strategy. This is what I just said, right? So first thing
Hmm.
is Strategy. Now I'm coming to your question. What you just asked. First thing is strategy. Strategy
Hmm.
means organization goals and objective. Then there is a
Hmm.
governance who make sure this organization and the objective should never be failed. It should be in line, right? And third one is information security program. Information security program should be in line with the information security governance. Approval only required for the information security governance, not in information security program. Why? Because if you are executing any information security program, that means you are already have the acceptance of your existing of existing or maybe a new information security governance. So those approval, everything is been already taken. So strategy, governance, and then information security program, and that is your chapter number 3. And the purpose of information security program is to execute the strategy and achieve the organization objective. This is what I just mentioned. For acceptable level, of course, you have to maintain the what the organization objective for acceptable level of risk and business disruption. That is the whole purpose of having the strategy, information security governance and program. And I will tell you one thing. Just a
Okay.
second. Just a second. Uh, Let me tell you the exact page where you can find this. Just a second.
Hmm.
Because I clearly mentioned, because I drawed. Okay, maybe you can refer one of my video. Let me try to see
Hmm.
if I can share that video right now. Just a second. Because this is I clearly
Okay.
mentioned in one of my video, and I will also tell you where is written in the book. Just a second. Hi Preeta, how are you? Thanks for joining. Important information. Just give me a sec, Prashant. I'm just finding out.
Hmm.
Hi, Pritik Roshan here.
Sorry, hi Preeta, I missed you. Sorry.
Hi, Pritik Roshan here.
Okay. So Prashant, if you can see the page number 25, I mean the very first page of chapter number 1, is written on fourth para. Next, a roadmap is created to identify the specific need to achieve the objective. So if you have any doubt,
Just
yeah.
okay. Yeah, I'm not 25 now. Okay.
Okay, this is basically this is a first page of chapter number 1, section 2, content.
Hmm.
Now here, if you can see,
Okay.
fourth paragraph is written. Next, a roadmap is created to identify the specific need to achieve the objective.
Hmm. Okay.
Now this roadmap is basically nothing but your understanding of your current and desired a desired level what has been mentioned in the governance. So this first paragraph,
Okay.
or let's say this first half of the page, not full page,
Hmm.
you please read one or
Hmm.
two times more. Because see, on the first paragraph is written, governance is broadly defined as a rule that run the organization, and this include policies. So
Hmm.
here you can find the meaning of governance. And
Yeah.
also in the last paragraph, you can see information security governance need to integrate it with the overall enterprise governance structure to ensure that organization goals are supported by the information security program. This is just I mentioned
Hmm.
that whatever the solution you are proposing, that should be integrated with the existing information security governance. So please
So
read this first half page at least. Yeah. Yeah. Tell me.
okay. So one more thing to report. So after, when there is a business objectives and vision and everything decide, the first thing is the IT governance. Okay, IT strategy, or the information security strategy, and the information security strategy to be implemented via governance. And for for on further to the governance, you will go and think of information security programs to achieve that. Is that the current flow? Because I'm trying to visualize the things
Yes,
which.
yes, yes, yes. Just give me a sec. Just give me a sec. Just give me a sec. Somebody's calling me. Hello.
Okay.
Hello. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's the correct flow. The addition, I just want to add one more point is कि for execution of this information
Hmm,
security program, you should understand the
hmm,
current state and the desired state, and based on that you can find the gap analysis, create a roadmap, and roadmap includes certain milestone. Milestone should be
hmm,
a small objective based on what you discuss in our strategy, and as soon as you achieve the milestone, you I mean whatever, if meeting or no, you need to report that to management.
hmm.
So these are the two
Yeah.
small things. Yeah,
Okay.
so but your flow is correct.
Good. Good. Because I was mm, uh, finding it a bit difficult to get the flow settled. So I've referred a couple of things on the Google as well to get the things right, which comes after what, because there is an close relation to each other, which I was trying to understand for me in a better way. So I have prepared some pyramid. I will share you on the WhatsApp that this
Okay.
is what I prepared from the all-in-one. I think then the understanding should come for me better way. That was my thought of doing that.
Just
But I
make
think, yeah,
sure,
that's all. If you have the video, yeah,
just make
yes,
sure
please.
whatever you are preparing, that should in line with
Hmm.
CSM thought process, CSM mind frame, mind frame.
Hmm.
Because if you are doing something
Okay.
awesome, but if it's not matching the mindset of what CSM is having, then that may not going to work for
Okay.
the for cracking exam. Your knowledge is definitely going to help you
Yeah, yeah.
while giving I
Hmm.
mean while doing other things, your daily task or something, but CSM only need their thought process. This is what I have learned.
Okay, okay. I think that, but this is really good. Things get clear when we discussed,
Absolutely.
and good to have your time for such discussion. So thank you so much.
It's all pleasure of
So
mine, Hari.
you showing some video? You you mentioned your video, or I will browse it. Otherwise, no
Just a second.
problem.
Actually, yeah, yeah.
Means I can
Yeah.
spend time on. Yeah.
Just a second. Let me tell you. Just a second.
Hmm.
Actually, I was just, okay. Let me share my screen. I will show you where I'm searching, and I will share the link probably in this chat or something. Just a second. Okay, so this is the browser I am searching. I just open my playlist. Just a second.
Okay.
See, this is the one of the link. What are the business goals and objective? This is one.
Hmm.
Let me see if I can paste.
Okay.
I'm actually, this is the first time I'm doing on this guy. I'm in a Zoom. So let me see
Zoom. Okay.
where I can see the chat window. Okay, okay, I can see. Okay, so I just shared one link.
Okay.
That's one, and you understand Hindi also, because my couple of few videos are in Hindi also.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's great.
Ah, nahi, nahi. I'm actually Maharashtrian, so Hindi very well.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, and if you, I mean, see, if time permits, you can go through this. Do you know task and knowledge statement? Because this is something I explain very in very detail. Let me just try to play one of them. Domain one. Just a minute.
I gone through some of from the domain one, Shailend.
Acha. Okay, that's fine.
वो
It was nice. Uh,
Okay. And
सपोर्टेड रहना चाहिए बाय द
I gone through this also, the controls, detective preventive. That video
Have you
also I
thought about
gone through.
learning data science?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
just a
you should
minute.
take this online
Sorry.
data science course
Hold
on
on, hold on.
Udemy.
Something
It's
is
taught by
wrong.
an expert.
Okay. Some video got played. I don't know how.
Okay.
ठीक है. Yeah, that's fine. So see, okay, are you able to see this screen now? I'm showing an
Yeah, yeah.
Excel. Okay, so here I'm putting all the videos in one place. I will share this
Mm.
Excel with you. So probably if you have any doubt, you can just
No,
look.
I have that. I think
Acha,
I think you shared me earlier, so I have this
acha.
Excel.
Okay, okay. Then it's fine. So probably in your
Uh,
initial videos
I
now.
followed the same from.
Acha.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, please go ahead. Sorry.
No, I have this Excel, or I think you given me a link earlier, and that is the reason I got to reach out to few of videos which I mentioned about the controls and some another topic, which was very much helpful
Yeah, thank you.
about the roles and responsibilities. But this particular things I was not find it very clearly in CISM book in a one table or diagrammatic representation. So it was always my mind was not clear that how they fit and how they come in order. uh, so that was the one
Actually, you know what? I
to
mean,
ask.
I would say that is actually that is
Mm,
good that you know what you don't know.
mm,
That is the biggest thing. I
mm,
mean, because sometimes we never know, or it's very late for us to understand that actually there is something which I'm not very sure. So that is good. I mean, that's why the very
mm,
first thing I said, thank you so much. You have asked this question because people normally think they know, but somehow there is a confusion. So maybe you can see this row row number 23.
mm.
What are the business goals and objective? I think here I mentioned about strategy. Maybe if you get a chance, you can see.
Okay, fine. I will browse it today.
Yeah.
I will browse it today because I think these 2 weeks are I have allocated to whatever best I can study for this.
Okay. So
So, Shailendra, the one last thing before maybe I taken you a longer time.
no, no,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I was also about to finish. See, just my one thing. Have you completed CISM review manual once, complete end to end?
Yeah, yeah. One to one completed. One even in a second reading as well right now of CSM manual with very closer look of each topic, because after I finish one entire module, I gone through that 1,000 question bank from CSM, and then I relate that okay there are certain things which I missing, so I'm covering that which I marked there in the CSM manual more closer. So I think I'm getting two step down in detail to understand and relate. But otherwise, conceptually I'm clear. But how the exam question come up, that create a lot of confusion in your mind because everything is in your plate, and then your mind tend to pick up some wrong wrong option from that. So and getting it more closer to the option based on the question. Otherwise, conceptually, I think I have a really good idea, and
Perfect.
Isaka chapter Mumbai helped to make that concept clear. But
Perfect.
there is an always mind and because it is a big time exam, so I wanted to be very sure that I wouldn't play with my thought. So that's all.
See, I mean, first of all, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, if you are believing,
Hmm,
is awesome. I mean, that means you are good to go. That I'm really very happy. See, I personally believe
hmm,
nobody whosoever is paying for that much amount for any certification is not preparing. The problem or the major role which sometimes play
hmm,
while giving the exam is how much you are active that time, how much your mind is
hmm,
responding that time. That is utmost important.
Okay.
So the only way what I find is whatever your schedule you may going to have that day, start doing as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a 1 week. Start sitting 4 hours. I am saying not 4 hours. Maybe you can sit for let's say 5 to 6 hours, because 4 hour may give you a cut to cut experience. No, you need to have a 6 hours of sitting experience, which include maybe you are thirsty, maybe you are tiring, you maybe you're feeling fatigue or something, or maybe you are what do you say hungry and all. So those things should be started early. And one more important point, uh, while giving the exam, if you find, this is my practice, if you find any question which you think is confusing, so probably in that case you may spend 10 more seconds and try to focus in a single direction, in the sense, yes, this option is correct, I mean, I'm sure this option has to be correct, and just mark it and go ahead. Next, once you come back, just leave that option and think why A, B, and D is. I need to find out between A, B, and D, right? And if you are convinced, no, yeah, A, B, and D is at all not at all possible, then of course you are double checking your C answer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Understood.
I mean, so that's why
Understood.
you
Very
you
clear.
are you are troubleshooting, or you are trying to solve question two different ways. First way, you tried your normal practice. You just go through the question, find out the answer, and you are finding, hey, I'm not sure. Then, based on your best understanding, you may spend 10 more seconds and mark it and move ahead. And so that question is actually qualified for flagging, because you want to revisit. And once you are revisiting, don't see that C option, whatever you select. Just try to find out the best solution between A, B, and D. And if in case you find any best solution, let's say A also, then see why I selected C earlier and how I am selecting A. Then here your mind comes in active role. They will say, no, this question is saying this, that's why it's A. Then another mind says, no, this question is saying this, then it's C. Then you can find it out two different angle, and that may help you to solve. And believe me, 4 hours is sufficient, more than sufficient. Believe me. I mean, I have discussed this, I don't know, so many students, so many aspirants, not students, aspirants, and not even a single person is saying that this is tough. I mean, 4 hours is not sufficient time. 4 hours is. And one more thing, I just forget that I used to practice. It was my luck. I mean, somehow I don't know how it's happened that I was thinking that there are 200 questions are coming in the exam, though it was 150 only. But I don't know how it's set in my mind that there are 200 questions I need to solve in 400 in 4 hours. So whenever I was doing any mock, I always try to solve 200 questions in 4 hours. And only 2 to 3 days back, I got to know before my exam that only 150 questions are there, and I was very happy that I am able to crack 200 questions, and that too 10 15 minutes or 30 minutes in before. Then if it's 150, then of course I will easily do in 400 in 4 hours. So you can do that also. I mean, if time allows,
Yeah,
try
yeah.
try to
Yep,
solve
sure.
200 questions, sit for more than 4 hours, and that's it.
Okay, good.
All right.
Thank you so much for your valuable guidance.
No problem, Prashant. Thank you so much for joining the session, and it's all pleasure of mine. Just go ahead and feel free to contact me. Maybe I will conduct some more sessions. Maybe some more participants join, and then we can celebrate on probably whenever you're giving the exam.
Okay, sure, sure.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks for
Yeah.
your time.
Bye bye.
Bye.